Well, here we are. We're starting episode number 30, pretty much the same way that we started episode number 1 4 weeks ago yesterday. Yeah, I'm getting kind of embarrassed here. Well, maybe I'll make a little bit of small talk here. I can remember when the Titanic was found, and so can pretty well probably everybody that's watching right now. But the day that it was found, my wife got a phone call, and it went something like this: "Tell Ron the Titanic's been found." Now, I had built this model probably, I'm guessing, 2, maybe 3 years before that. Like the Titanic was found, I believe, in 85, and I did this around 82, 83, somewhere in there. I know it was hanging up on the wall in the living room where we lived, in this case, for a long time. But I can still remember waiting for the news to come on to see, those dark, fuzzy, black and white images. And yeah, I can sort of see the railing. Yeah, that's a railing, all right. And then eventually the better ones came in. You remember when the sub went over the bow and you could see the mast was bent back and laying over the captain's bridge, and yeah, and the chandelier with that piece of coral growing out of it. Remember that? Must have seen that 1,000 times. And then, of course, as the year went by, the documentaries started coming out, and well, you know the story. One thing that I do recall before, the finding, I remember reading a little book, and in this book, my brother gave it to me, or lent it to me, and it had 4 accounts written by 4 survivors. And one of the survivors was adamant that the Titanic had broken half. He had seen it happen. But at that time, nobody wanted to believe it. We all wanted to envision it sitting on the ocean, looking much like that. And you could sort of swim through the rooms, and, well, you know how imaginations get going. In fact, there was the movie came out about that time, Raise the Titanic. Well, the Titanic hadn't been found yet, so they were able to get away with that. Yeah. Oh, another thing. At that time, I was a member of what was called, and I think they're still in existence, the Titanic Historical Society. And I used to get their little newsletter, and at that time there was still several survivors still alive, and you'd hear different new little tidbits of information, trivia that nobody really cared about except us Titanic buffs. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. It was funny, once it was found, the mystique of it for me kind of, you couldn't use your imagination anymore because you were faced with the facts. And it kind of lost its mystique. And I let my subscription to the society go. Yeah. Anyway, about what are we going to do? My second choice for model is in Winnipeg, but it was my second choice. We'll call Cellar Dweller later and see if we can find out anything. But I'm afraid, I'm soon going to have to, pull the plug with Cellar Dweller if, I hate to do that. But they did tell me very clearly back in episode number 1 when I placed the order, if you remember, that it would be, and they kind of indicated at the latest, the end of next week. Well, the end of next week was almost 3 weeks ago. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if they're just stringing me along or what. Well, fortunately, they don't have any of my money yet. I don't know, maybe that's what made the difference, but I don't think so. Yeah. I can well imagine there's people out there that are a little bit interested in models and they'd like to see this a little bit closer up. Well, here's a little bit closer. Maybe we'll do the Lusitania sometime. Anyway, here's the Titanic. You know, it's been a lot of years since I've actually looked closely at this thing, and I'm noticing, as well as it being a little bit dusty, it's kind of faded in some places. Like, for instance, the tops of the railings. Well, I had used a felt marker to color the top of the railing to make it look like wood. Yeah, that's kind of faded away. Well, I imagine that by now they've got better stuff out there. Now, about yesterday's video. I think I may not have made it clear what I was actually talking about, because going by some of the comments that I was getting, maybe some people didn't understand. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, firstly, I was surprised that that lens, which is on the camera right now, by the way, was not quite as good at having the image sharp on the edges at the same time as when it was focused sharp in the center. And now that I kept talking about edge sharpness, and some people misunderstood and they thought I was talking about vignetting, which means it's getting darker in around the outside. Anyway, I just wanted to make it clear that I was surprised that the lens wasn't better. And that's basically the whole thing. That's what it was all about. It wasn't as sharp on the edge, and I'm talking about sharp, not bright, as it was in the center. Okay, we got that. Go, one more thing. I'm afraid I might have got a little bit sharp with some of the viewers in the comments, and yeah, I guess I was kind of tired and cranky or something. Sorry about that. You're probably trying to be helpful, and I was thinking that maybe you were trying to teach your grandmother to suck eggs. And yeah, because photography and lenses and cameras and stuff like that, I don't want to be bragging, but I know it a lot better than woodworking. And definitely a lot better than model making, as you're probably going to find out over the next few months. Anyway, yeah, I think it's time to go and make the phone call. Find out what Cellar Dweller's up to. And I hope he's going to give me believably good news. I mean, good news that's believable. It is about 1:42. Yeah, could I talk to Carrie, please?
I'm sorry, he's just out running an errand. Be back in probably about 20 minutes, half an hour.
Is Jim there?
Yes, this is.
Oh, hi, it's Ron Calverley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm not too bad. So if you remember, I was talking to you just over 4 weeks ago about the model.
Okay, yeah. That was the trumpeter.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's somewhere between here and Edmonton. We're kind of hoping we see it today or tomorrow. So it's somewhere in transit, as far as we know.
Well,
It has not showed up yet.
Yeah, that's really strange, isn't it?
It's obviously they held the order for longer than we thought they were going to. I don't know if they're waiting for other stuff to come in to add to the order too, but yeah, it took a lot longer to get here from them than it normally does.
Yeah, that's what Kerry mentioned. I talked to him actually a week ago today.
Yeah.
And he was, he said that he was the same thing you. He's expecting it today or tomorrow, but that was a week ago. He said worst case scenario was Tuesday. Well, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah, and we still didn't see anything. So, and well, we finally got confirmation from the supplier, I believe yesterday, that it is in transit. transit. So.
Did they give you a tracking number? Like if I order something from Lee Valley or Amazon or William Woodwright or something like that, they give a
no, because he's the one that controls it because it's coming from a distributor.
Okay, so when they notify you then that it's shipped, they don't give you a tracking number?
Not specifically, not all the time, no.
Yeah. So for all we know, the transport could be laying on its side in the ditch and the model's all bust to poop.
Well, hopefully not, because usually, coming from Edmonton, it's usually pretty good, so.
Okay, yeah. It'd be nice if we could check on it, you know.
You can call back later on this afternoon. I'll give you over to Kerry. He can actually see if he can just contact the supplier and see if they know exactly where it is.
Yeah, okay, that might be a good idea because, you know, what would you do if you were me in a case like this? You know, you had indicated by the end of next week, which was 3 weeks ago almost.
Well, again, like I say, we place the order with a supplier, and it's something that we have no control over if he decides to hold the order, waiting for other stuff to add to it that we had ordered.
Okay, I'll give.
We ordered it as well as we ordered some other plastic mold stuff, some paint stock in that too, which we were out of. So we've been waiting on some paint stock for about 3 weeks too. So.
Yeah, I know. When I was in there about 6 weeks ago, I'd wanted paint thinner, and you didn't have any.
Yeah, and again, we're still, you know, that's also some of the stuff we were waiting for as well. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call back when, half an hour?
Try and call back. You know what? Better give it a good hour just in case Kerry gets held up with what he's doing and that. So.
Okay, I'll call back at 2:45. Is that okay?
That'd be good. Yep.
All right.
Sure. No problem.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye. We'll call back in an hour. That's all we can do.
Good afternoon, Tyler DeWiller.
Hi, can I talk to Kerry, please?
Yes, give me 1 moment. Hi, this is Kerry. How can I help you?
Yeah, Ron Calverley.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Not too bad.
I missed your call when you had called earlier. I was out running an errand. So we had a very... first of all, I apologize for the delay. Our shipment has been lost.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. I mean, no excuse. It's lost. We have tracking on it from Edmonton, and it never did get here. But when I didn't get anything on Tuesday morning, I called my supplier. I have another shipment on its way, and I have a tracking number, and it shows that it's being delivered to me tomorrow. I put in a claim with Loomis for the first shipment. If I end up getting it, hey, that's great. I'll have 2 of them. But unfortunately, I wish I would have almost. I quite honestly was just. With the weather delays from last week, okay, I kind of played that. I should have checked with them a little bit more last week, so I'm still going to put it on myself. But yeah, our shipment is, Loomis doesn't even know where it is. It shows that it left Edmonton, it's got a tracking, and now they don't know where it is.
Well, like I said to Jim, it's possible that the transport had an accident.
Well, yeah, but they should be able to tell me that. That's the thing is normally they can say, because we've been doing this for 46 years, so I've had the odd shipment that does go away. Either through I had something one time that went to Malaysia, that I sent instead of Manitoba. 2.5 months later, I got it back.
Yeah, or London, England instead of London, Ontario.
But normally they can tell me. So I apologize because I know you're probably getting super, super antsy. I've got all of your videos all stockpiled, and I see that I've only watched up to about number 4. And I think you're up to 28, and you're probably 28 or 29. You're probably getting itchy to be getting this thing built. So I apologize.
Yeah. Well, actually,
my tracking number does show that they're delivering it to me, the second shipment, tomorrow. And if I end up with 2 of them, that's fine. It's a nice ship, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff, other plastic models in that order. So if I get a double order, great.
Yeah.
But my primary concern is getting you that model right now.
Okay, so actually Edmonton had 2 of that particular model, so they sent...
He probably had 5.
Okay.
He's a great trumpeter distributor.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe what you're.
Probably, frustrated you a little bit. Frustrated me.
That's okay, Carrie.
And especially because I just found out on Tuesday that they don't know where it is.
Yeah. My
I
YouTube viewers are starting to kid me. There's a couple of them at least have said maybe it's coming by Dog Team.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? And I understand that. I mean, especially now, like normally, I mean, like in all honesty, with comparative to how it was in the 80s and 90s, I mean, now when I put an order in on a Monday, I usually have it Wednesday. I mean, and that's even from the U.S. So when I put an order into Rick in Edmonton, again, if I put it on a Monday, I normally have it on a Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. So for it to go this long, other than, like, if it's a weather concern, okay, that's fine, but normally the freight company will call me if there's an issue. And this time, somehow, it fell through the cracks on their behalf and on mine too, and I was kind of saying, well, it's obviously going to be here any time because they haven't called me to say that there's an issue. Then, on Tuesday morning, when I finally called them, and they pulled it up and they said, they looked at the tracking, because my tracking number said no scheduled delivery. And I'm thinking, well, why would it say that now? And it was updated that no scheduled delivery means they don't know where it is.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Because.
Thank you very much for your patience. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, listen, Carrie. I just want to let you know that the reason I'm dealing with you guys is because when your dad had the shop there, back in the 70s and 80s, he was a tremendous help to me when I was trying to get into
I remember you
RC.
when I was here. I mean, when I first watched your, because Jim, when you first ordered it, and then you sent me the link for your YouTube show, and I went and looked at it, and I said, oh, geez, I remember Ron from when I was working here when I first started in the early 80s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I used to come out to the RC field there. Is it still south of town?
The club lost that field. The Highway 59, when they twinned it, went right through the center of the runways. Like exactly through the center of the runways of the old field.
That'd make a little turbulence, wouldn't it?
Yes. So the new field is still on the south end of the city. It's actually, the club leases property from the city just on the east side of the southwest, or the southwest sewage treatment plant on the south perimeter between St. Mary's and St. Anne's. So the club leases about 6 acres there, and they have paved runways and everything again. So it's a pretty nice field. Nothing's as nice as that field that was out on Highway 59. That was probably the nicest field in Canada.
That was a nice spot, nice picnic spot actually.
Absolutely. It was so nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
I know when the city was talking about, or the province, I guess, when they were talking about twinning Highway 59, we were hoping, and we were on the committees, hoping that they would, go to one side or the other, and wouldn't you know it, like it literally went right through the center of the runway. So
well, that was one spot they didn't have to pave.
Yes, that's what we joked about. We said the city saving $1,000 because they don't have to do paving there.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen. What should I do? What?
Because it's been way too long. I hate it when stuff like this happens, and I apologize for me not calling you. I should have called you last week and said, look, I think something's up. So I'll take the blame on this. I mean, I'm not going to push that off. Okay.
Well, by the way, last week was the very first time I used this speakerphone. I can hear you great, but can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good.
Clear as a bell.
All right, great.
Thank you very much. The second it comes in, you'll be getting a phone call.
Okay.
And I'm hoping it's first thing Friday morning.
So that'll be, according to my clock, that's tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thanks, Carrie.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow. I crossed my fingers, but I'm too arthritic.
I lost the thread there. Can you phrase it another way?
Well, I guess you sort of heard Cortana put in her 2 cents worth there. She was obviously listening in as well. And yeah, guess that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.